Imagine waking up one morning and stepping outside into a world of ice. The wind is screaming across the landscape. Snow covers everything. The temperature is far below freezing. There are no heated homes, no winter jackets, no supermarkets, no electricity. And if you fail to find food within the next few days, you die. Now imagine trying to survive an entire winter like that. For ancient humans, this wasn't a nightmare. It was reality. The strange part is that they didn't just survive. Somehow, they managed to thrive in some of the coldest places on Earth. So how did they do it? And why didn't winter wipe them out completely? Around 20,000 years ago, much of the world was locked in an ice age. Massive glaciers stretched across continents. Forests disappeared beneath snow and ice. Entire regions became frozen wilderness. For people living during this time, winter wasn't just uncomfortable. It was deadly. Every snowfall could hide food sources. Every storm could trap hunters miles from shelter. Every freezing night threatened to become their last. And there was another problem. Humans lose body heat quickly. Without protection, freezing temperatures can kill in just a few hours. By all logic, our ancestors should never have survived these conditions. Yet they did. And the reason begins with one of the most important discoveries in human history. Fire. Most people think of fire as something simple. A campfire. A source of warmth PPP0P, but for ancient humans, fire was much more than that. It was life itself. Fire dried wet clothes. It scared away predators. It cooked food, making it easier to digest and giving people more energy. Most importantly, it created small islands of survival in a frozen world around those flickering flames. Families could sleep through nights that PPP would otherwise kill them. But there was a problem. A fire only works if you can keep it burning. And during long winters, finding dry wood wasn't always easy. What happened next changed everything. Ancient humans began developing shelters that trapped heat. Some groups built homes from wood and earth. Others used animal hides stretched over sturdy frames. In places where trees were scarce, people became incredibly creative. Archaeologists have discovered shelters built from mammoth bones. Imagine that. Entire homes made from the skeletons of giant Ice Age creatures. These shelters blocked the wind and trapped precious warmth from fires burning inside. Suddenly, surviving winter became a little less impossible. But warmth alone couldn't save them, because eventually everyone gets hungry. And winter was the season of hunger. Many plants disappeared beneath deep snow. Rivers froze. Animals migrated away. Food became harder and harder to find. For ancient families, every meal was uncertain. A failed hunt didn't just mean going to bed hungry. It could mean starvation. So humans adapted. They became master observers. They learned animal migration routes. They memorized landscapes. They studied tracks in the snow, a broken twig, a distant footprint, a patch of disturbed ice. Tiny clues could mean the difference between life and death. However, hunting large animals brought its own dangers. A mammoth could feed a group for weeks, but it could also kill a hunter in seconds. The hunt required teamwork, planning, patience, courage. People worked together in ways rarely seen among other animals. One person alone had little chance. A coordinated group could bring down giants. And once they succeeded, almost nothing was wasted. Meat became food, bones became tools, sinew became thread, hides became clothing. Every part mattered. This may have been one of humanity's greatest survival secrets. We learned how to turn nature into protection. And nowhere was that more important than clothing. Many people imagine ancient humans wrapped in rough animal skins. The reality was often far more sophisticated. Scientists have discovered bone needles dating back tens of thousands of years. That means people weren't simply draping hides over their bodies. They were sewing, designing, customizing clothing. Layered animal fur garments trapped warm air close to the body. Some outfits were surprisingly effective, similar in principle to modern winter gear. Think about that for a moment. Long before factories and fashion brands existed, ancient humans had already become skilled clothing engineers. But survival wasn't only physical, it was also psychological. Winter could be incredibly lonely, dark, terrifying. For months, storms could isolate groups from the outside world. People spent long nights gathered around fires, and during those nights something remarkable happened. Stories were born, legends, myths, traditions. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. Which animals were dangerous, where food could be found, how to survive the next winter. In a way, storytelling became another survival tool. Information kept people alive. And each generation inherited the lessons of those who came before. But perhaps the biggest surprise of all is this. Humans didn't survive because they were the strongest creatures. Far from it. Bears had greater strength. Mammoths were vastly larger, yet humans outlasted many of them. Why? Because our greatest weapon wasn't claws or muscle, it was adaptability. When conditions changed, we changed. When winter became harsher, we invented new solutions. When food became scarce, we discovered new strategies. Again and again, humanity faced impossible odds and found a way forward. And that is the real answer to how ancient humans survived deadly winters. Not through luck, not through strength, but through creativity, cooperation, and determination. Today, when winter arrives, most of us simply turn up the heat. We zip up our jackets, we order food, we wait for the season to pass. It's easy to forget that every comfort we enjoy rests on thousands of years of human ingenuity. The next time you sit inside a warm room while snow falls outside, remember this. Your ancestors once faced that same cold with nothing but fire, animal skins, simple shelters, and each other. Against every expectation, they survived. And because they did, you're here.